following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, a Hoop Ball presentation. My name is Adrian Benjamins and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani, and this episode of the Box Score Breakdown Show is brought to you by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. You guys, taste the Kona difference. Get some delicious coffee from Hawaii. Go to hawaiianisles.com. You can also find it easily on Amazon. Neil, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right, my friend. How are you? just had, my New Year's resolution is to eat a little more healthy, and I just had chicken and rice and broccoli, which for me is like a big deal.
I like it. It's funny that you mentioned New Year's resolutions and eating healthy. I worked out today for like the first time since the holiday started. So for basically 2 weeks, I stopped working out. I ate a ton of junk food over the holiday, Neil. Like, you name it, I ate it, man. Cake, ice cream, pastries, holiday cookies. I was just eating anything I want to. Guaranteed I put on at least like 10 pounds over the holidays, man.
Yeah. I don't eat well any time of the year. So this won't last. But if I can do a meal or two here and there that's not bad, then it's progress. It's progress for me. Go ahead.
It's trippy to me right now that you mentioned eating healthy because I am really bad, especially in the morning. I have a bad sweet tooth. So I usually start my day off with something really sweet with my cup of coffee in the morning, like a muffin, a pastry, something sweet like a donut. And so I just started thinking to myself, man, you know what? For now on, instead of having that sweet thing with my coffee, I'm just going to do a protein bar or something kind of healthy, like a banana or something. So it's
nice.
Kind of fun. It's awesome for me to hear about you. That's your resolution as well, man. We're on the same wavelength.
Hey, man. Great minds think alike. All right, we've got a handful of basketball games. The NBA keeps trucking along. We'll get to it later. I got a frustration though, but we'll get to it later. Where you want to news and notes? We were talking about this before we got on air. I was thinking Chris Paul is going to be out for a while. We mentioned Kevin Love, but that doesn't really change any fantasy news. I don't really expect him to come back this season, but that's just me. We'll see. He's supposed to come back in a few weeks, or he's several weeks away still, so I don't think it's going to happen this month. As far as the games are going, we've got, I think, a handful completed and a couple are still in progress. So let's see how long I can get you to stick around. Your turn or my turn to lead us off?
Your turn.
Is it? All right.
Yes.
San Antonio, Detroit. Is that what you got for game one?
Yep.
All right. So San Antonio, Detroit, impressive road win here. San Antonio, they go up to Michigan and win 119-107. Start off on the San Antonio side. LaMarcus Aldridge, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists on 9 of 12 shooting, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, a block. He's just been so solid this year. DeMar DeRozan, another guy who's been exceptional, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists on 12 of 21 shooting, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. Jakob Poeltl starting here, 27 minutes, 7, 6, and 2. I'm streaming him this week, 3 of 4 from the free throw from the field, 1 of 6 from the free throw line. That is just shocking. Anyway, a block. Didn't expect the bad free throw percentage from him. Bryn Forbes, 34 minutes, 15, 4, and 0, 5 of 12 shooting, 3 3-pointers, a steal. Not sure about this guy. I picked him up and dropped him. He's certainly someone I'm watching. Derek White, probably already been picked up in most of your leagues. Should be, if not. 35 minutes, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 7 shooting, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. No steals, no blocks, a turnover. Patty Mills, 26 minutes off the bench, 13, 4, and 2, 4 of 10 shooting, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Bertrand's plays 25 minutes. Bellinelli 21. Oh, Pau Gasol's back. He played 8 minutes. Watching Bryn Forbes, looking for a 3-and-D guy because my guy is done, I think. and we will get to that later. So trying to find one. Bryn Forbes is the candidate. I don't think he's good enough yet, and I don't think he's going to be rushed to pick up by anyone else. So I'm going to keep watching him. Other than that, no real changes here. Derek White obviously is a must-own at this point, but maybe we're a little too late on that. At least I'm too late on that call. So what are your thoughts on the Spurs?
Derek White has been on a tear lately. Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in double-digit scorings. The last 4 games, 17 points, 19 points, 19 points, 22 points. He's been on fire, man. I wish I would have stuck with this guy, man. I really had high hopes for him. And then when he came back, he was a letdown, and now he's on fire. And I wish I feel like this is kind of a good lesson to, like, if you really believe in a guy, just stick with him. This is kind of making me wonder, maybe I'm giving up too early on a guy like Jonathan Isaac. Maybe I should stick with a guy like that. But yeah, man, Derek White's been great. If you were able to pick him up, congratulations. Other than that, I love your take. Forbes, I would say if Forbes is still available, man, make a move on him. I think he pretty much needs to be owned. All right.
Yeah, he's 83rd in the last month. So I was just looking at that, 9-cat leagues. I'm thinking more of my 8-cat league where I really need a 3-and-D guy, and he's a little bit lower than that. He's 95 over the last month. So he's definitely there. I just I don't know if I trust his 50% shooting. So we'll see how it goes. All right, back to you.
Also, to Rudy Gay missing in this one. Now, Forbes is a backcourt player. Gay is a forward, so they're not directly linked, but Gay does gobble up some usage. So, maybe Forbes saw some extra usage here tonight with Gay out of the lineup. All right, so going to move over to the Pistons side. Going to start with Blake Griffin, 34 points with 8 assists. 2 rebounds, 2 threes tonight, shot 13 of 21 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line. Andre Drummond with a big double-double, 19 points to go along with 14 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, shot an efficient 9 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from the line. Reggie Bullock with 13 points with 2 assists, 4 rebounds. He was 3 of 12 from downtown, 5 of 16 from the field. Brown was real disappointing in the start. In 34 minutes, he had 4 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Reggie Jackson with 14 points, an assist, a steal, a rebound. A little low end here. Could have definitely gotten into some foul trouble tonight. 5 fouls in just 23 minutes. Shot 6 of 10 from the field and 1 of 1 from the line. Off the bench, man, they got 10 points from Kennard, 10 points from John Lure. Not too much else, though, here. Neil, what do you think of the Pistons?
Yeah, we're watching the wing position. At least I'm watching the wing position. And it looks like if I had to go with one, I guess it's going to be Reggie Bullock over Brown or Kennard for sure. Just Bullock's shooting, though, this 5 of 16 scares me. I love the 12 3-point attempts. I mean, if I could get a guy to take that many if he can make better than 25%, that'd be awesome. 4 3-pointers a night. But his percentages kind of hurt me. 44%. I guess Forbes is probably the much better option if I had to pick between the two. Not much else to take away here except Reggie Jackson's still doing. I mean, well, not much in the assists tonight. So, but he's been shooting pretty well this season. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Last thought on the Pistons for me. I believe the Pistons are going to be buyers at the trade deadline. This is a really active franchise when it comes to making moves. This team's like in a win-now mode with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson. A lot of nice wing players available, guys like Otto Porter, Terrence Ross. So I will not be surprised if the Pistons make a move in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Keep an eye on that situation. I don't really know what they would have to give in a trade. They really don't have a lot of great young assets, but I don't know, man. You never know what could happen.
That's a good point, and that'll kind of change things up in the backcourt. If they get a wing, it'll definitely even further devalue those other guys. All right, Brooklyn, Boston. Boston gets to the win here, 116-95, pretty comfortably. Start off with the Brooklyn side. Rodions Karuks, 28 minutes with 24 points, Very efficient night, 8 of 15 shooting, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 3-pointers. This is why I picked him up. Of course, it's kind of the 1 in 5 games are like this. 24 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, no steals, no blocks. Jared Dudley's still starting for them, 17 minutes, no points, 6 rebounds, no assists, 0 of 3 shooting. Jared Allen, 6, 8, and 2, 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, a steal, a block, turnover. D'Angelo Russell, 23 minutes, 5, 1, and 5, 2 of 6, a very off night for him. He's been solid this year. Did have 6 turnovers in addition to having the poor offensive night. Shabazz Napier, 33 minutes, 10, 5, and 6 for 12 shooting, a steal, 2 blocks, 5 turnovers himself. It looks like Harris must have been out. Yeah, Harris was out tonight. Carroll was out tonight, and of course, LeVert still recovering, along with Hollis Jefferson. Off the bench, we had a Kevin Fareed sighting. Double-double, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 10 shooting. This guy, I loved his game, Adrian. It's unfortunate it doesn't fit the modern NBA anymore because you can't be a 4 and not shoot the 3-point ball, and he doesn't fit that. He did take 4 3-pointers, made 1, stealing a block, so maybe he's trying to rejuvenate his career that way. Dinwiddie off the bench, 24 minutes, 15, 2 and 1, 4 of 10 shooting, 6 of 7 from the free throw line and the 3-pointer. Ed Davis, 11 and 9, another solid game from him. 9 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 steals. So percentages are good, rebounds are good, couple steals, not a bad sneaky streamer guy. And that is really it on them. No other thoughts. This will change. Shabazz obviously will come back to the bench once Harris is back. And Crabbe is out for 5 games. It looks like he's out for 2 weeks. And not sure what to do with the Nets. These guys, it's so hard, right? They got blown out, and then a lot of these guys are going to go back to the bench soon. So not much to take away.
The Manimal, he's back.
Forgot about that nickname.
I'm just kidding, man. Look, Kenneth Fareed before this game, I think he was at 3 straight DNPs. So, no, I don't think anybody owns Kenneth Fareed, even in the deepest leagues. This was nice to see this from him. As you said, Neil, this guy was really fun early in his career when he was with the Nuggets. I thought he was going to be real solid. But as you said, man, the modern NBA just left him behind. It was very unfortunate, but nice to see him have a good game here. I'm going to note, too, he left this game in the fourth, which looked like an ankle injury. Again, I don't think it really matters. We're not counting on Fareed. And as you said, Neil, tough to really take anything away from this game. The blowout factors, you said, they're missing so many key guys. As you said, Crabbe, Harris, Hollis Jefferson, Carroll. So I'm not taking anything away from this game, man. All right, I'm going to jump in on the other side. The Boston Celtics, I'll start with Kyrie Irving with 17 points, 3 steals, 6 assists to go along with 2 rebounds, 1 3. He shot 8 of 16 from the field. Marcus Smart getting the start here, 12 points with 2 steals, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. He had 4 threes tonight and shot 4 of 10 from the field. Jason Tatum, this is a pretty decent game from him, 16 points with 2 steals, 4 assists, 4 boards, 2 threes, 5 of 12 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Marcus Morris, he also got the start here. In 26 minutes, he had 12 points, 2 steals and assists, a rebound. 3 threes from him tonight, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. Horford, it's a pretty good game also from him. Filled it up all over, 12 points, 5 assists with 9 boards, a steal, a block. Shot a nice 6 to 7 from the field. Off the bench, they got some nice contribution from Gordon Hayward, 12 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Terry Rozier had 10 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, shot 5 of 10. Not too much else, though, to talk about. What do you think of the Boston Celtics, Neil?
Yeah, I really like Marcus Morris now that he's in a starting role. Not kind of a quiet night tonight. But he's been taken everywhere. So he's 48th in the last month in ACAT. He's been on fire. Nice balance on this team as we kind of expect. Not much else. Rozier's back in the relegated to the bench. So I was streaming him for a while, and clearly he's not worth it. Daniel Tice is one person I would probably stream if Horford was ever out. I think he's a pretty solid option. But they run about 7 or 8 deep, and all those guys are kind of splitting up all the stats. So nothing new here. What did you say about Hayward? Sorry, I missed that. Did he do all right tonight?
Yeah, I feel like Hayward had a pretty good game, and still got 26 minutes, but coming off the bench, but still saw 26 minutes, which is just as much minutes as a lot of the starters played tonight. 12 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. He had 2 threes. So this is a pretty decent game from Gordon Hayward. Hopefully he can start ramping up here.
All right, I'm going to go on to the next game. Memphis, New Orleans, 114-95. Another very comfortable win for the New Orleans Pelicans. Memphis, 95 points. Start with their stat line. Start with Mike Conley, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists on 5 of 11 shooting, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 4 3-pointers, 2 steals, 4 turnovers. Just a phenomenal night for him. Marc Gasol looks like he ended up fouling out of this game. Played 29 minutes, 7, 5, and 4. 3 of 10 from the field, so not a very great night from him. 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Missed all his 3-pointers, had a block. JJJ, 12 points, 1 rebound, no assists on 6 of 11 shooting. Played 22 minutes. I'm guessing he had foul trouble, and he did 5 personal fouls in those 22 minutes. Going up a very experienced big guy in Anthony Davis. Kyle Anderson, 5, 5, and 5 on 2 of 5 shooting. 0 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 1 3-pointer. Garrett Temple, 32 minutes, 8, 4, and 1, 3 of 10 from the field, 2 3-pointers, 3 blocks. So tonight, Garrett Temple did produce some value in a couple of those ancillary categories. JaMychal Green gets 25 minutes, 16, 5, and 0. 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line, 2 3-pointers for him. All right, here this is where I'm starting to fall apart. Justin Holiday, 12 minutes. Didn't they trade for this guy? I don't understand. Because they wanted to get better. I mean, I knew it would take at least a game or two before he started to kind of ramp up and get. I thought he would be getting many more minutes than this. 12 minutes, 4 points. I mean, he's playing less minutes than Omri Caspi, Joakim Noah, Javon Carter. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 of 3 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and a block. This was my 3-and-D guy, and I think I'm going to give it. Obviously, I'm not going to drop him just yet because I don't know what they're doing. But I think his fantasy shelf life could be over, could be expired. Anyway, Noah plays 14 minutes, as I mentioned. He had a decent game, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 or 5 from the field. 2 steals and a block. I think this is probably all in garbage time. My main takeaway is Justin Holiday. If you owned him and like I do, and he got traded now, and you were watching, you are very disappointed. And it's not like they were winning without him. Adrian, help me. Talk me off the ledge. Should I drop him? I mean, I can't drop him yet, right?
I think Holiday is going to be much better than this. Look, how many practices has he had with this team? Maybe he's just getting ramped up. But, Neil, it is clear that Holiday is just not going to get the same usage, the same looks, the same role, the same minutes that he had when he was in Chicago. So it's definitely going to be a downgrade. The question is how far will he fall? I think he's going to be better than this. There's no way they made that trade for him to play 12 minutes in a really awful bench role. I'm not saying he's going to be, the main starter here, but he's got to see more minutes than this. So I would hang on to him from now. Let's see how it looks towards the end of the week, but it is not looking good. I think he's going to be better than this, though. Neil.
It can't be worse, I hope. What if he gets like 4 minutes next time? Anyway, yeah. I really thought they traded for him for a reason. Like to make their team better. I know it takes time to ramp up a basketball. Usually you just throw guys in there, right? You just like.
Hey, this team has been struggling. They've been struggling to score the ball, and they've lost a lot of games lately. And I believe they made the trade to get some scoring out on the wing here. So I think he has not been with his team very long. Maybe they just want him to learn the plays, So I would be patient for a little bit here. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely not going to be the Holiday we saw in Chicago. All right, I'm going to jump over to the Pelicans. Of course, I got to start with Anthony Davis, man. 36 points. You know what? I got to take a sip of tea before I do this thing because his line is so long, I can't even get to the end of it. 36 points, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 3 assists, 13 rebounds, 8 of 12 from the line. He didn't have a 3 tonight is the only thing he didn't do. Who cares? 14 of 20 from the field. This guy's outstanding. I will note, I believe he did go to the locker room in the second quarter due to a shoulder injury. Who cares? He came back and he dominated, and he's awesome. He's the best player in fantasy. Don't worry about it. Holiday. Now, this is the Holiday you do want to own, Neil. 13 points, 4 steals, 6 assists with 4 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown, 1 of 2 from the line. Drew Holiday, outstanding. Randall, 15 points to go along with 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line. Miller got the start, 7 points with 2 assists, a steal, a block, 1 rebound, 1 3, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line. Elfrid Payton has been kind of slowing down a little bit here. Only 24 minutes. He got 11 points with 3 steals, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. Off the bench, they got a nice game from Jackson, who had 10 points in just 19 minutes. 17 points in 19 minutes. He shot 7 of 10 from the field, 3 threes tonight. It was pretty nice. Neil, what are your thoughts on the New Orleans Pelicans? How much do you love Anthony Davis?
How much do I love Anthony Davis? Let me count the ways. Oh my, it's like a fantasy gold mine if you got Anthony Davis. I got so lucky in these drafts that are your standard, snake drafts. Getting the first pick, it's just like winning that ticket to the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. All I got to say is this team is getting better, and I don't know what's going to happen with him. I'm assuming he's going to stick around the rest of the season. That's the only thing that might make this team more interesting fantasy-wise. It looks like Mirotic is going to come back pretty soon. That should cut into Randall's start time and maybe minutes, but he's been pretty solid off the bench just as well. And Elfrid Payton's getting back into form. Good to see him have a good shooting night here. Put up, got 3 steals as well, so he seems to be helping the team. And like you said, Frank Jackson, not someone who's even on my radar. Obviously, that was aberration and blowout time, so maybe keep an eye on him for deeper leagues, but not worth putting on a watch list yet in 12-teamers. All right, I'm going to go on to Denver and Houston. Houston wins here at home 125-113. Denver, my second favorite guy, Nikola Jokic, 28 minutes, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 of 20 shooting, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, a 3-pointer, 2 steals, and a block. Did have 8 turnovers, though. That's surprising from him. Gary Harris back in the starting lineup now, played 27 minutes, 14, 4, and 2 on 4 of 11 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 steals, 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. Paul Millsap quiet in 22 minutes starting, 6, 3, and 2 on 2 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, no steals, and a block. Jamal Murray, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 13 shooting, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, no 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. Torrey Craig, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, no steals, no blocks, no 3-pointers. Off the bench, Monte Morris gets 24 minutes. He actually had a solid game, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 of 13 shooting. So that he was really buoyed by a big shooting. And going against Houston, play a lot of those wings, point guards out there. 1 of 3, 3-point land, 2 steals. Hernan Gomez Very quiet night. Back to the bench. 20 minutes. 3-5 and 3 on 1 of 5 shooting. A 3-pointer. All his shots are 3-pointers. No steals and a block. Trey Lyles 18. Mason Plumlee back to the bench, and especially for this matchup. 15 minutes, and Brandon Goodwin gets 5 minutes there at the end. It looks like the Denver's got almost a starting lineup back. They're still missing. Who are they missing here? Will Barton. So he should be back sooner than later. He's been stashed in most of my leagues, but if not, obviously go out and get him ASAP if he's still out there. And not much else to say. It looks like I was trying to stream Mason Plumlee last week. This week, it's not worth it. He's gone. Hernan Gomez is no longer worthy. Craig, and even Millsap, I'm not too crazy about anymore. What are your thoughts on Denver?
Man, you pretty much covered it. Real happy to see this team, as you said, starting to get healthy again. Millsap is back. Gary Harris is back. Sounds like Will Barton is close. So same as you said, Neil, if you're streaming some of these guys, it's likely time to move on. And man, the Nuggets look really good. I think out of all the games tonight, I was most excited for this one because both the Nuggets and the Rockets have been playing really well lately. So I thought that this could be a high scoring battle, and it was. And speaking of high scoring, I'm going to look over on the Rockets side. Man, the Rockets drained 22 3-pointers tonight, which is crazy. I'm going to start. You got to start with James Harden, man. 32 points, 6 turnovers tonight hurts, but the 14 assists, the 6 threes, 12 of 15 from the line, that kind of eases the pain there, man. 7 of 18 from the field. He even added a steal and a block. That was an outstanding game from him. I picked up Austin Rivers in some really deep leagues. Like, I'm talking 14 teams or deeper. Just hoping in 2 of the leagues I picked him up, I need some help in points and threes. I thought he might be able to help me there. Wasn't too great tonight, but look, 40 minutes and took 6 threes tonight. So if you're kind of hunting points and threes as I am, I think he could be helpful there as long as Chris Paul is out. Eric Gordon's out as well. So that's why Rivers is starting, seeing such big minutes here. 4 points for him, 6 assists with 3 rebounds. Clint Capella, career high tonight, 31 points to go along with 2 steals. No blocks is maybe the biggest disappointment here. I don't even care, man. I have Clint Capella, a lot of Clint Capella, and I'm happy with tonight. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 13 of 18 from the field. Didn't even hurt you too bad from the line. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. This is outstanding from Capella. Having a fantastic season. Congratulations if you drafted Clint Capella. House got the start here. A little disappointing with only took 3 shots in 26 minutes. So he's definitely not getting the usage with all these other guys taking so many shots. Only 6 points for him, 3 assists and 6 rebounds. Probably don't own House, or you're probably not counting on him. Green off the bench had 21 points with 5 rebounds. Not too much else. We're missing Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, Carmelo Anthony. No, I'm just joking. We're not missing Carmelo Anthony. And what do you think of the Rockets, Neil?
Yeah, the Rockets are on a tear recently, right? They're just starting to climb back up the ladder. It's the West is crazy. Denver's the number 1 team by record. Houston's not, and I think everyone thought, and their mother thought Houston was going to win this game. So the West is just so competitive, top to bottom. Chris Paul is out. Looks like he's still going to be out for a while. End of the month at the earliest, and I think that's even wishful thinking. I'm thinking sometime in February. Eric Gordon out for another couple games. Austin Rivers, I think he's more of a points league guy. His percentages just really scare me. Right now he's just shooting 42%, and he can just chuck. So hopefully you can withstand that. And other than that, though, I think he's worth a stream. Hey,
one small bit of news. The Rockets sent Michael Carter Williams to the Bulls earlier today. Nothing really important there because the Bulls are going to waive Michael Carter Williams. It was for the Rockets, it was to free up some salary space. And for the Bulls, they received some cash considerations. But the only reason why I'm mentioning this is earlier I talked about how the Pistons could be really active. I think the Rockets are going to be very active at the trade deadline. Morey has said publicly that they're going to be buyers. This is a very active franchise, and they love to make moves. I think they're going to bring in more firepower on the wing. Look for them to maybe add a guy like Otto Porter or Terrence Ross or something like that. And, if they add a guy like that, Neil, someone like that on an offense like this could definitely have some fantasy value if they move into that. So keep an eye on that situation. I think the Rockets are going to make a move for sure. Them making this trade of Michael Carter Williams, they're freeing up money right now, and it's because they're looking to do something, man.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to make another push for the championship this year, and I think they realize losing Ariza last year, and they also lost, like you said, Mbah Mute. They're going to need some help there on the wing, and Eric Gordon's not getting it done this year. He's more of a sixth man off the bench anyway, and Austin Rivers isn't the answer. All right, the next game I've got is Utah-Milwaukee. Milwaukee wins, 114-102. Start off on the Milwaukee side, Utah side, led by Rudy Gobert, 14 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 8 shooting. Not a terrible 6 attempt on the line, 2 steals and a block. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 of 24. He's still struggling out there shooting the ball. 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 of 12 from three-pointer, so that's a very great stat. And a steal, 7 turnovers. Ricky Rubio looks like he left early. Just played 5 minutes, had 9 points on 4 or 5 shooting, an assist, 3-pointer, a steal. Joe Ingles, he's been struggling shooting the ball, which I have noticed since I have him in a couple leagues. 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Did have his 4 rebounds and 6 assists. I expect that, and he delivered there, and 2 blocks and a steal. So the defensive stats were there. Let's see. Off the bench, Raul Neto really filled in here with the injured point guard to Rubio and Exum, Exum didn't even play tonight. So Neto played 29 minutes, 10, 6, and 5 on 4 of 8 shooting. 2 3-pointers. Crowder had a solid night, 12, 5, and 3. 4 or 5 from the line, 3 11 from the field, 2 3-pointers for him. Corver, 25 minutes. Royce O'Neal, 12 minutes. Let's see how this point guard situation moves, right? Because there could be some streaming options here. It looks like Rubio, I'm sorry, just pulling up now. He's out for another week. Exum's out for another week. Neto, are you going to stream him? What do you think?
Yeah, in some deep leagues. I'm talking 14 teams or deeper. I'm desperate actually for some point guard help in a couple of these deep leagues I'm in. I may look to stream Neto. I talked about the other night about how I was going to drop Jonathan Isaac. I may be dumping him for Neto. They could also start Donovan Mitchell at the point guard spot and play Royce O'Neal at the 2 spot next to him. So that's another option. But I think if you were going to pick up anybody with Rubio and Exum being out, it's going to be Neto. And Neil, I was so disappointed, man, because as soon as I heard Rubio went down, I was like, man, I'm going to grab Exum. Didn't realize that he was also hurt as well. So I was really disappointed when I heard he was out too.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him get some run. I think he's been so impressive this year when he's out there. But Neto, I think, is capable as well. So we'll see how his stats compile here as he gets some time.
I'm going to move over to the next side of this game. The Milwaukee Bucks got to start with the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. What a bum, man. He fouled out of this one. Who cares? 30 points with 2 blocks, a steal, 2 assists, 10 rebounds. Neil, he took 30 shots in this game. That is unreal, man. 13 of 30 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line. Chris Middleton with a pretty great game here as well. 14 points to go along with 5 assists, 7 rebounds, a steal. I take it back. The shooting wasn't great. It was only 5 of 15 from the field, 2 threes, 2 of 3 from the line tonight. Brook Lopez with 15 points to go along with 8 boards and assists, 3 blocks. Love the defense from him tonight. Also like that he gave you 3 threes tonight. You love getting those trays from your center. 5 of 6 from the field. She was very efficient tonight, man. Actually, a really nice game from Brolo. Brogdon with 21 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. This guy's been a pleasant surprise this season. 8 of 14 from the field. He even gave you a 3. Perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Great game from Brogdon tonight. Neil, I don't know what's going on with Bledsoe, man. 3 of 11 from the field for 6 points. 3 steals, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. But, man, where is the just the monster Bledsoe that we're used to seeing? I'm hoping, I don't know, man. I'm hoping whatever funk he's in, I hope he breaks out of it soon. Maybe it's even a good buy low opportunity because I think Bledsoe should be pretty good for the second half of the season. All right. Off the bench, not too much to talk about. They got 15 points from Thon Maker, but we're not counting on him. We're not counting on any of these guys from the bench. Neil, what do you think of the Bucks?
Yeah, Bledsoe's a big conundrum here, right? He's 104th in the last month, ACAT leagues. It's not. He's a third-round guy, and he's just not producing. I don't know. I've had inklings to trade him, thinking obviously I'm not going to sell too low, but I don't know if he's going to get back to that third-round value. They really balance this out, and I think he might be stuck more in that 4th or 5th round value, best case scenario. I think that's more likely than third round value. So I'm holding on to him. I don't want to sell him this low, but I don't think I think the monster lines might be more muted, even when he has good ones. That's really it. Other than that, no one else here that's really new to talk about. But Giannis, man, this guy is just amazing.
He's unbelievable.
That's breaking news. All right, Los Angeles Lakers, Dallas. Lakers got a nice win here on the road against Dallas. They've been called out. You know, they've been struggling recently without LeBron. They go on the road, beat a decent Dallas team. Lonzo Ball really shows up. Played 37 minutes, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists on 8 of 15 shooting. Did struggle from the line, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. 4 3-pointers, 2 steals, no blocks. Josh Hart double-doubles, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists on 5 of 13 shooting. 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 3-pointer, 5 steals, no blocks. Brandon Ingram, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 12 of 21 shooting. 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 2 steals, no blocks. Kyle Kuzma is back in the lineup, so this helps. 37 minutes, 13, 5, and 3 on, 4 of 20 shooting. 2 3-pointers, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. JaVale McGee, 23 minutes, 8, 10, 4 of 7 from the field. No defensive stats tonight. Caldwell Pope, 21 minutes, 3, 1, and 3. A steal and a 3-pointer. Tyson Chandler gets 19 minutes, 2, 4, and 2. 2 steals and a block. Michael Beasley gets out there for 9 minutes. Zubac for, I can't pronounce this guy's fee. 4 minutes, and Lance Stevenson, 3 minutes. I thought Lance would have more of a role tonight. Anyway, that is the Lakers side. Good to see them back on the winning side. Good to see Kuzma back out there, and LeBron should be joining them. Who knows? I thought it was going to be shorter than this, so I'm surprised it's lasting this long, but he has been reevaluating, and it looks like it's somebody at least another week. So I guess it's just to wait and see. What are your thoughts?
Where have these guys been, Neil? As soon as LeBron went down, I was expecting Ingram and Ball and Kuzma and Hart. I was expecting these guys to just blow up, and it did not happen for a few games. Finally, Hart, Ingram, Ball, beautiful games tonight, and they need to keep this going, man, because we're not going to see LeBron likely for the rest of the week. I think this is a good opportunity for these guys to show how good they are without LeBron. And so I'm really happy to see them step up here. One last thing I want to note, some minor injuries. Brandon Ingram, an ankle injury in the 4th. was available to return, so nothing really. Michael Beasley, knee injury, he was available to return. So just small notes there, nothing to worry about. All right, I'm gonna go over to the Mavericks side, and I'm gonna start with Luka Doncic. And Neil, I was listening to the Laker local broadcast before this game started, and they were talking about how Doncic has not had a good game against the Lakers. And their theory is that Luka Doncic was starstruck by LeBron James. Yeah, he was just to be on the same court as LeBron. Luka was like, he just wasn't really the alpha that we've seen from him because he was so starstruck by LeBron. Well, LeBron was not in this game, and Luka went off. 27 points to go along with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 10 of 23 from the field, 5 of 7 from the line. Neil, I don't know if you saw some of his step back threes in this one. It's unreal, man. This kid is so talented. You forget that he's 19 years old, man. It's like if he's doing this now, Neil, what is he going to do like when he's just entering his prime? This is just crazy, man. Right?
It's
what
crazy.
Do you think of Luka?
It's phenomenal. Yeah. He's so fun to watch too.
He's unreal.
It's not just that he's putting up great numbers. He's a great player to watch as well. Yeah, it's been so much fun. I'm glad to see. What was I going to say? Dorian Finney-Smith had a solid night. 8-8, 4-5 shooting. Dwight Powell got 15 minutes. Yeah, that's interesting. That whole star-studded thing. I had no idea that Luka was.
They were talking about how everybody loves Luka, and they were, as I said, I should say John Ireland and Michael Thompson. They were the ones doing the broadcast. They were talking about how they've been so excited to see Luka in person, but every time he has a bad game against the Lakers, and their theory is that LeBron is one of his idols, one of his favorite players, and when he was on the court with LeBron, he was just in awe, and so it affected his game. Anyways, I haven't even done the rest of the Mavericks. I've been talking about Luka this whole time. I should start talking about some of these other guys. Harrison Barnes with 11 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 of 6 from downtown, only 3 of 13 from the field, so did not shoot well tonight. DeAndre Jordan, 10 points and 19 massive rebounds to go along with 2 steals, 3 blocks. That's a pretty good game from him. He even did not hurt you from the free throw line. 6 of 8 from the line tonight. Great game from him. Wesley Matthews disappointing here, only 5 points in 32 minutes. Dennis Smith Jr., this guy has had such a disappointing season. Another guy that I'm hanging on to in a couple leagues, I don't know why, man. I probably should drop him. I just can't do it. I don't know why. I don't know, man. 11 points, 3 steals in 27 minutes. He did have 2 threes tonight, shot 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. Off the bench, they got some nice support from J.J. Barea with 11 points in just 19 minutes. Dwight Powell, Dorian Finney-Smith had 8 points each in just 15 minutes. Dirk Nowitzki, man, 2 points in just 13 minutes. Saw a really nice highlight of him, though, pump faking a guy. Classic Dirk move, and then hitting a nice jumper after he got his guy in the air. Just classic Dirk. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Mavericks?
Yeah, I jumped ahead there. Sorry. I was a little distracted. Yeah, Dallas, gosh, they're a tough one to figure out on the wing, too. They kind of remind me a little bit of Detroit. You know, they've got these couple of big stars and a big guy in the middle, and DeAndre Jordan, and they got Doncic, and then everyone else is kind of fringy. Point guard, I know Dennis Smith Jr., he's got talent. It's just his basketball game is just not translating, and Luka's really taken over the lead role in terms of handling the ball. So I thought that might make his percentages better, but he's still shooting. He's shooting 45% over the last month, so that's really improved. 120 in the last month, so he's not doing terrible, but he's someone I'm still not picking up. That's really it, though. Not much else here. Just watching to see if either Barnes or Matthews can really step up. I mean, Barnes is taking. I mean, Matthews or Finney-Smith can step up. So, all right, man. I think that's all we've got for now.
Yeah, I got to get going. Unfortunately, I will not be here for the last two games. I'm going to get out of here, but Neil will be back for the last two. Want to thank everyone for listening, supporting the show. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. Hit Neil up as well. He's at Ball with Neil. We love hearing from you guys. We love any questions you guys have. And go get the in-season premium membership over at Hoopball. Ton of great stuff over there, you guys. And we still got half the season left, so still a lot of fantasy to go, man. Neil, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, on to the last couple games of the evening. Portland Downs, New York 111-101 on the New York side. Led by, at least among the starters, Noah Vonleh, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Solid night from him, 2 assists, 5 of 12 shooting. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 3-pointers. Good to see him developing that outside shot and a block. Kevin Knox struggles in just 22 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, no assists on 1 of 6 shooting. Did go 5 of 6 from the line, so good free throw percentage from him tonight. A steal and 2 blocks. Luke Cornett, someone who I have added speculatively and may now drop. He's just not getting the minutes, and some of the basketball experts that I rely on are telling me he's really not a really good player in the NBA and may not be deserving of a lot of minutes. So tonight, just 19. 6 points, 2 rebounds, no assists on 2 of 4 shooting. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Did have 2 blocks. Emmanuel Mudiay continues to look rejuvenated here in New York. Solid night from him. 17 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists on 7 of 17 shooting. 3 of 3 from the line. 3 steals. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets 5 points on 2 of 12 shooting. He's had his struggles from the field throughout his career. 27 minutes tonight. 2 rebounds, 1 3-pointer, 2 steals. Hazonia plays 31 minutes, goes for 14 and 7 and 1. This is kind of a curious line to see him get 31 minutes. Cantor, 29 minutes, may have had one of the better lines tonight, 18 and 14 with 1 assist, 8 of 12 shooting. Did struggle from the free throw line, though, 2 of 5. No defensive stats. Damian Dotson, 21 minutes. Trey Burke, 14. Alonzo Trier, 13 minutes. When I look at the Knicks, I look at Enes Kanter. Obviously, there's rumors he may not be there the rest of the season. He's obviously not happy about coming off the bench, so still occurring. We'll see if anything changes there. Kevin Knox was someone I was consider streaming, but his percentages are just too bad. Over the last month, he still has not really produced, despite the opportunity. 151 in 9-cat leagues, and that's even worse in 8-cat leagues, as he is pretty low on the turnovers. Mudiay, 138 in 9-cat leagues, pretty much the same in 9-cat leagues. Not been great, but not too bad either. I mean, it's really, for a point guard, doesn't really shoot the 3, just 0.9 threes a game. 6 assists, 18 points, though, over the last month. And the steals, defensive stats, not really there, 0.9. The 44% shooting, though, is pretty good for him on 15.8 shots. It's one of the best he's had, I think, in his career. 72% from the line. That's hurting him, but he's shooting much better than we expected. I don't think Vonleh, I think, he's kind of up and down for me. He's been solid over the last month, 93rd in 9-cat leagues. Over the course of the season, he is 101, so right on the cusp of being owned. If you're in standard leagues, doesn't do much in the point categories. It's just really going to help you in rebounds and field goal percent. Rebounds and blocks. Field goal percent is not great this year, 46%. That could come up, but he's taking more 3-pointers, which explains the drop in field goal percent. Is making 0.9 a game. So he's learned to develop that outside game. Let's move over to, Mitchell Robinson, I should mention, is still out for 2 more games. I have picked up him just to see how this is going to play out with the Cantor situation, Cornette situation. Mitchell Robinson was starting at one point, clearly. The opportunity may be there. I don't know if he has the ability to take advantage of it just yet in his career, but I think he's going to be given a chance for a few years here, at least in the NBA, to show what he can do. And perhaps this year he'll be fantasy relevant in the second half of the season as the Knicks continue to look like they're tanking. On the Portland side, it was a quiet night for Damian Lillard by his standards. 5 of 14 shooting, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. McCollum, very similar line, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 7 of 17 shooting. 1 for 1 from the line, 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, and a block. Nurkic continues to play incredibly well, 7 of 9 from the field, 20 points, 8 rebounds, no assists on 6 of 9. From the free throw line, no steals and a block. Mo Harkless, just 9 minutes tonight. And 3 personal fouls. Let's see if we got some news on Mo. It looks like he did leave early with a left knee injury. So played very limited tonight. Some of that slack was picked up. I should do Aminu first. 8 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists on 3 of 12 shooting. 1 3-pointer, a steal, and a block. His percentages just kind of scare me off. But he has been decent this season. 98th in 9 cat leagues. Lower in 8 cat leagues. Off the bench, Myers Leonard gets 22 minutes, 9, 5, and 3 on 4 of 8 shooting. A 3-pointer and a steal. Seth Curry, 22 minutes, 13, 0, 0 on 5 of 9 shooting. 3 3-pointers, a steal, and a block. Jake Layman, solid night from him. Incredibly hard to predict this one. 10, 10, and 5 on 3 of 5 shooting. A 3-pointer, no defensive stacks. Zach Collins, 7-6-0 on 22 minutes. Did have a steal and 2 blocks. Evan Turner, 10, 5, and 3. And no defensive stats. Did have 2 turnovers. Not sure what to make of this team. Obviously, we know Lillard, McCollum's been disappointed this year. Yusuf Nurkic has now jumped into the top 50 in 9 cat leagues. 8 cat leagues, which I tend to be a little more in tune with. He is up to 41st, which is just incredible. Shooting 74% from the line, which has buoyed that. Usually the one stat category that drags him down to more 5th, 6th round value. 7th round value even. So assuming Harkless is out, I think that's a little boost for Aminu. I don't think Evan Turner or anyone else off the bench is worth owning or even streaming. This team is really just scoring most of its points and usage through its big 3, Lillard, McCollum, and Nurkic. So everyone else is ancillary to what this team does, at least offensively. So unless you can find someone who's going to get a lot of rebounds, I don't think Zach Collins is going to get a lot of run with the Harkless injury. So stay away from him. Let's go on to the last game of the night. Sacramento 111, Orlando 95. Start with the Orlando side. And we'll start with Nick Vucevic. 18 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists on 7 of 14 shooting. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 1 3-pointer, 1 steal, and a block. Turnover as well. Another disappointing night from Jonathan Isaac. 23 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound on 1 of 6 shooting, a steal. Just hasn't delivered. A lot of us here at Hoop Ball have been big fans of his. And I think this year I would throw in the towel. I'd never pick up some of these guys because I'm worried that nights like tonight will make it really hard for me to stick around with them. And even on the season, he's 168 in 8 cat leagues. So other guys out there who I think, especially once we get into the tank mode, which tends to happen pretty soon, usually by the end of this month, you start to see teams start doing it. I know the draft is different this year, but if you finish in the bottom 3, you have equal odds. So I think there could be 4 or 5 teams trying to finish in that bottom 3 this year, and we'll see how it looks as we move in towards the end of this month and the records for teams. DJ Augustine played 19 minutes, very quiet for him. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist on 1 of 6 shooting. A steal, Evan Fournier, 26 minutes, 15, 1 and 1 on 4 of 8 shooting. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 4 3-pointers. Nice to see him have a nice shooting night. Aaron Gordon, 10, 9, and 1. He's had a couple games now. He struggled 3 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. A steal and a three-pointer for him. Windu gets 26 minutes off the bench, 11-5-1, 4 of 10 shooting. A lot of this is because this got out of hand early. I think at one point in the third quarter, Sacramento was up by close to 30 points. Terrence Ross plays 23 minutes. He is still streamable if you need threes. 5 tonight, along with 2 steals, 20 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. Mo Bamba, 13 minutes. Nothing really to speak of. 5 rebounds, no other stats tonight. Isaiah Briscoe plays 17 minutes, and Kem Birch, 11. Bamba, I thought, was going to get a little more run here. He looks a little bit better over the last couple of weeks in terms of minutes. Still just a deep league guy. I guess wait for next year for him. Evan Fournier is someone that I've avoided this year. He's 122nd or 122 on the player rater, 8 cat leagues on a per game basis for this season. I think his perceived value is better than his actual value. He really hasn't been that great. It's shooting this year down to 43%, and on the line 76%. Usually, if I'm going to have a 3-and-D guy, I want to get some help from my 3-point specialist at the free throw line. He is hurting you there slightly, so he's not someone I want to own this season. Sacramento, like I said, scored 111 points tonight, led by De'Aaron Fox, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 9 of 14 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 steals, no 3-pointers. Buddy Hield, a pretty quiet night for him. He has been lights out recently. 25 minutes tonight, 13, 3-1, 5 of 10 shooting, 3 3-pointers. He's got such a beautiful shot. Willie Cauley-Stein, 18 minutes, 11, 11, and 2. Nice double-double from him. No defensive stats tonight. Did have 2 assists as well. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 32 minutes in the starting lineup. Shumpert did not play tonight. Bogdan gets back in the starting lineup. 15, 8, and 7. This is what I expected from him once he got back. Lines like this: 6 of 15 from the field, 3 3-pointers, and a steal. Bielitsa, 22 minutes, 4, 4, and 2 on 2 of 6 shooting. Very disappointing line from him. We talked about how once Bagley comes back, Bielitsa's minutes are going to be directly hurt, and tonight was the case. Bagley is back off the bench, played 20 minutes, 8, 6, and 1 on 2 of 7 shooting, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and a block. So if you own Bagley, I would go ahead and get him in the next game. This game, I think you could have waited on. 26 minutes for Yogi Ferrell, 10, 3, and 4 with 2 3-pointers and 2 steals. Justin Jackson gets 27 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 9 shooting, 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. Basically covers it for the Kings rotation. Bagley, I'm assuming he's owned everywhere. I think he's going to be a pretty strong asset the rest of the season, assuming his injury doesn't come back. He was strong asset might be too strong a word. I mean, he's 166 on a per game basis in 8 cat leagues. Looks like he's questionable again, so he might have. He has a back-to-back tomorrow night, so they're thinking that he might rest. So no injury tonight. Nothing to worry about there. Just he might get a day's rest or night's rest tomorrow night. I think he's going to get more run. I think he's going to be a 14.8 rebound guy with over a block a game, shooting 50% or higher from the field. Free throws, probably around 70%. He's at 68 for the year. Maybe he gets to 70%, but it's going to hurt you. I do think he's going to be good, though. Rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage, and turnovers are low if you're in 9 cat leagues. These guys are kind of holding value. I think Bogdanovic at 100 on a per game basis is really frustrating if you own him. We'll see what happens with Shumpert. It looks like this rotation is pretty much set, though, so 100th might be what we get out of Bog this year. Buddy Hield right around 50th, and De'Aaron Fox, of course, having a phenomenal year. Maybe most improved player, 37 on the player rater from a fantasy perspective. All right, that's going to do it for the box score breakdown here on January 7th, 2019. We'll be back tomorrow night. It looks like a pretty full slate of games again. We'll talk to you then.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.